Hi, I'm Tony Fleming, and this is Fleming's Ultimate Garage. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us on today's video. Some cars get bad raps, some cars deserve it, some cars don't. This is definitely one of those cars that doesn't deserve it. This car was really ahead of its time. 65 Corvair Corsa Convertible. So the Corsa meaning Italian for race, but this is their most performance version they had, naturally aspirated of course, with 4 downdraft carburetors, flat engine, flat bottom, 4-wheel independent suspension, huge amounts of room inside the car. That's how they were able to package this car and get all these people inside there and make it just a great car for gas mileage. It handled really well. It was sporty looking. This one happens to be, which we just talked about a second ago, the convertible. This is a Goldwood Yellow paint. So come on up and we can, sometimes yellow doesn't really show up really well, but I just want to show you, just so you can see and hear how smooth and clear the paint is on here. And it just looks so great with the white interior. Power convertible top. This has the redline tires on it with the mags. And those mags are the same wheel that you would have got on like a Chevrolet that year. It just looks awesome in there. There's a little bits of trim. This black pinstripe looks great. I love the call outs right here. You know, when we open this up here, you're gonna say, wow, I'm looking for the motor. Well, the motor's not here, of course. Most everybody knows that, some people don't, but this is all storage. It's an enormous amount of storage in here. And then when we look in the back, the engine is tidied and clean and easy to get to. Everything's accessible, so I don't know how you don't get a car like this, especially in the price range and if it's restored, because it really is a spectacular piece. So let's take a peek under here for a second. We'll start there and we'll work our way back to the engine. All right, a couple cool things up here, like for instance, like the restoration level. You need to look at some small details. For instance, like the T3 headlights. Original period correct headlights with the T3 on them. That's the way you kind of buy a car restored like this, so you know like this is really authentic and really cool. This is a really nice touch. Like you're looking for yourself, look how clean they've kept it here. Where is the hood release? Well, the hood release is right here, hidden behind this cool spring-loaded catch. And this is where I got really excited. Like check this out, man. Look how much storage is in here. This is as big a trunk as any full-size car ever. This right here is an extra bottle of OptiClean to pour in your washer fluid right there. Wiper motor, but all the rest of this is yours. Easy access to headlight bulbs, marker lights, any wiring. You can see that this car has been restored nicely because the wiring is all kind of nice new colored. Painted all inside here, fresh gaskets. It's just a nice cool piece. The bumpers are really nice. They've been re-chromed. Corvair. The good thing too is these cars have really become popular, so there's a lot more parts available now. We were ordering a couple decals and things like that we're getting ready to put on this car. I wanted to do the video. It'll be more detailed in the engine compartment when we get to it, once the decals arrive. So we'll check that out too. But the red lines make this car pop, the white interior and the white boot. Let's go check out the engine compartment. So look at the styling of this car. Because this is the high horsepower car, they put the 140 horsepower emblem on there right there, okay? Got vents. This right here is for engine cooling. Keep in mind this is an air-cooled engine, so you don't have to worry about the car overheating. You don't have to worry about changing coolant. This is why this car was so ahead of its time. Not only that, look at the packaging. The engine fits in this small little area here, where if this was a regular GM car, we would need a hood this long to get everything in there, from the radiator to the fan to the block to the transmission. It needs all that room, and when we get inside the car, you'll see the floors are flat, and that's why there's so much room in here. Check out the packaging and the power plant. I just want to show you something, for instance. Look how much room is in here. I'm sticking my hands on the side of the engine. I'm not burning my hands or whatever. We got 4 downdraft carburetors. We have a giant fan in the middle. This is very much like a Porsche 911. That's where the technology perhaps came from, don't know for sure, but and the Volkswagen too, the Beetle, where the air-cooled fan blew air onto the engine. It's also oil-cooled too, and it didn't really need a radiator. We're talking about 140 horsepower. Well, that may not sound like a lot of horsepower, but don't forget this car doesn't weigh very much because it doesn't have all those ancillary devices that you need on a big size car. It's a marvel in packaging. The VIN number's here in its same location. Here's a cool tag that says for winter operation. Turn this plate 180 degrees if you wanted to preheat the carburetors. Trunk light still works. I don't know. Just really nice. Bias ply tire in here. Nice decals there. I want you to see this real quick if you could. Check this out for a second. Look how flat this car is underneath. A typical car would not be this flat. And the reason why you want a car this flat is because it keeps the air from being disturbed underneath. And as you get into high speeds like 100 plus miles an hour, what goes on underneath of the car, just like if you ever watch a NASCAR race or any Formula One races and things like that, the underneath of the cars are designed to be flat to keep the air out. That's why they put a front air dam on there to keep the air out from underneath too, because that's what lifts the car up and you lose your control of your steering. They've designed that into this car and that's why it handles so well. All right, so let's check out the inside. You know, this is our first Corvair convertible here. And I want to tell you that everybody was a little nervous at first about getting a Corvair, going, you know what, we've never had one, so we don't really know. This one here is so cool. You must see this dash. In your lifetime, there is no better performance-oriented dash than this Corvair Corsa right here. It's got a big tach right here, 6,000 RPM tach, 140 mile an hour speedometer. It's got a clock. It's got the cylinder head temperature gauge, which is really cool because obviously there's no coolant in the car because it's air cooled, so it lets you know if the car's running too hot. For instance, maybe it might be low on oil or something like that. It also has vacuum for the manifold vacuum right there, fuel gauge, the original AM radio still in the car. Just look at the detail in here. This one's nice because it's a 4-speed, but what I really wanted to show you was, look how much room is back here. You could genuinely take kids, another couple, you could go to dinner in this car. This car is just awesome. People see it, they all smile, they go, wow, that is really, really nice. 2-spoke sport wheel, just a whole lot of good stuff. Anyway, how about I start it for you so you can hear what it sounds like, because it's got a nice little growl. Keep in mind, you got those 4 carbs and it flows nicely. You know, this is one of those cars that looks great with a top up or the top down. And I don't know, it's just such a cool car, man. I just love driving this thing around. Everybody gives you the thumbs up. Everybody loves them. And this one here, because it's a Corsa convertible, it's the race version, you're getting a much different car. You're getting that 4-wheel independent suspension. You're getting the full gauges on the dash. You're getting like a rally dash that you get in a muscle car with the tach, the 140 mile an hour speedometer. Authentic down to the AM radio, the redline tires, the mag wheel covers. It's just a cool piece, man. And I gotta tell you what, in the world of affordability, this is an incredible value for a classic, convertible, sports version, and restored. I don't know, I'd find a way to get it in my life if I could. Call us 301-816-1000 and we'll tell you all about it.